Welcome, dear viewers, to a world where darkness and mysticism meet in the creepiest forms. Here, in this abandoned corner of the internet, we will delve into the darkest corners of the human imagination. Prepare for awe-inspiring horror, as each of our stories is imbued with sinister secrets that lurk in the darkness of the night. Scary stories that remain beyond your imagination are waiting for you on our channel. Don't forget to turn on the lights, get comfortable, and hold on tight, because now we are going into the world of nightmares. Are you ready for it? Then welcome to our scary story. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the dark expanse of the swamp. Its waters, stained a murky brown, lay still and mysterious, reflecting the twisted branches of gnarled cypress trees that stretched their bony fingers toward the heavens. The air was thick with the pungent scent of decaying vegetation, a reminder of the relentless battle between life and death that played out in this desolate place. The swamp was hidden away from the prying eyes of the world, a secret realm where ancient, primordial forces held dominion. It was a place where the ordinary rules of nature seemed to wither, replaced by an eerie sense of otherworldly dread. The very ground beneath your feet whispered tales of things unseen, and those who dared to venture into its depths were often never seen again. To outsiders, the swamp was an enigma, a labyrinth of waterlogged trails and impenetrable thickets. No road or path led to its heart. It was an isolated, forgotten corner of the world. Few locals spoke of it, and those who did would only do so in hushed tones, as if they feared that uttering its name might awaken something malevolent. As twilight descended upon the land, the swamp took on an even more sinister aura. The fading light clung to the treetops, casting long, slender beams onto the water's surface. It was in those fleeting moments of illumination that the true nature of the swamp revealed itself. Those who ventured here knew that the sinister secrets of the swamp were best kept hidden in the shadows. The main character of our tale was Sarah, a woman who had long been haunted by the whispers and rumors surrounding the swamp. She had grown up in a nearby village, listening to the unsettling stories told by the old folks around campfires. For years, she had been drawn to the swamp like a moth to a flame, her curiosity and trepidation battling within her. On this particular evening, her heart raced as she stood at the edge of the treacherous terrain. The dense foliage formed an impenetrable barrier, shrouding the swamp's interior in a veil of secrecy. The sinking sun cast an eerie glow upon the water, as if it were a portal to another realm, a realm she was determined to explore. Sarah had heard countless tales of the swamp's horrors, stories of unexplainable disappearances, ghostly apparitions, and creatures that defied all reason. Yet, despite her fear, she felt a compelling urge to uncover the truth, to face the darkness that had haunted her dreams for years. With each step closer to the murky water's edge, her heartbeat quickened. She could feel the eyes of the swamp upon her, its malevolent presence almost palpable. She knew that this journey would be unlike anything she had ever experienced, that it would challenge her in ways she could scarcely imagine. The ground beneath her feet grew softer, and the air more oppressive as she ventured deeper into the swamp. The twisted trees seemed to reach out to her, their skeletal branches appearing as if they were yearning for something, or someone, to become ensnared in their grasp. Sarah's thoughts raced, her apprehensions and doubts waging war within her mind. She knew that many had ventured into the swamp before, driven by curiosity, greed, or some other dark desire. But their stories were a warning, a testament to the malevolence that lurked in the murky waters and shadowy corners of this forsaken place. As she took each step, Sarah couldn't help but wonder what awaited her in the heart of the swamp. Would she uncover the secrets hidden within its depths, or would she become just another chapter in its chilling history? She realized that her fate was uncertain, and the swamp held its own malevolent narrative, one that she was about to become a part of. With one last deep breath, she plunged further into the swamp,
her determination overshadowing her fear. The water rose around her ankles, and the darkness enveloped her as she ventured deeper into the heart of the enigmatic swamp, where the true horrors of the unknown awaited her.
The night had fully descended upon the swamp, shrouding everything in an impenetrable veil of darkness. The moon, a mere sliver in the night sky, cast feeble, silvery rays onto the water's surface. The air was thick with an unsettling stillness, broken only by the eerie symphony of the swamp's nocturnal inhabitants. Sarah trudged deeper into the swamp, her flashlight cutting a feeble path through the gloom. The silence was oppressive, disturbed only by the occasional croak of unseen frogs and the distant hum of insects. The murky waters seemed to beckon her further, their surface like a black mirror, hiding secrets that she was determined to unveil. As she ventured further into the swamp, the trees became more twisted and grotesque, their forms resembling grotesque shapes lurking in the shadows. The dark, tangled vines that hung from their branches seemed like serpents poised to strike. Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of isolation, as though the swamp itself conspired to keep her trapped within its grasp. The night brought an unending chorus of bizarre sounds, a cacophony that sent shivers down her spine. Unidentifiable rustlings and faint whispers echoed through the trees, heightening her sense of unease. Every step she took seemed to be muffled by the thick layer of decaying leaves underfoot, a reminder that this was a place where sound and life itself had been consumed by the swamp's suffocating embrace. Sarah's heartbeat quickened as she ventured further, her flashlight's beam dancing across the inky waters. She could feel that she was not alone in the swamp. An inexplicable sensation of being watched clawed at her insides. The tales of the swamp's malevolent presence haunted her thoughts, and she had to stifle her rising fear. Then, out of the obscurity, something shifted. A chilling, guttural growl reverberated through the night, causing Sarah's breath to catch in her throat. She trained her flashlight toward the source of the sound, but the thick underbrush obscured her view. Her trembling hand reached for the small can of pepper spray she had brought, a pitiful defense against the unknown. The growl came again, closer this time, and Sarah's heart pounded against her chest as she took hesitant steps forward. Her flashlight revealed a pair of glowing, malevolent eyes that shimmered like emeralds in the darkness. The creature they belonged to emerged from the undergrowth. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, a grotesque and nightmarish figure that defied description. Its skin was slick and mottled, resembling the rotting bark of the cypress trees. Its limbs were long and twisted, each ending in clawed, webbed hands. A row of sharp, yellowed teeth protruded from its elongated jaw, and its eyes, cold and unfeeling, fixed upon her with a predatory intensity. Sarah's body froze in terror, her mind unable to process the abomination that stood before her. Her flashlight quivered in her trembling hand as she tried to make sense of the creature. Fear surged through her veins, paralyzing her with its icy grip. The swamp's malevolent secret had unveiled itself in the most terrifying way possible, and Sarah's senses were overwhelmed. She could feel the fetid breath of the creature as it hissed in her direction, its presence reeking of decay and evil. It was the very embodiment of the horrors whispered about in the tales of the swamp. In that moment, Sarah's survival instincts kicked in, and she fumbled with her pepper spray, unleashing a cloud of stinging mist in the creature's direction. The beast let out an ear-piercing screech and recoiled, its eyes writhing with pain. It retreated into the darkness from which it had emerged, vanishing into the night. Sarah's breaths came in rapid gasps as she realized she had narrowly escaped a gruesome fate. She turned and fled, her flashlight's beam cutting a frenzied path through the inky blackness. The swamp had not only concealed its malevolence, but revealed it in a horrifying, tangible form. As Sarah stumbled through the tangled underbrush, the night seemed to close in around her, and the weight of her fear bore down like an unrelenting burden. She knew now that the swamp's secrets were far more sinister than she had ever imagined, and she had glimpsed the face of the monstrous entity that lurked within. With each step, she knew that her journey into the enigmatic swamp had just begun, and the terror she had experienced was but a harbinger of the horrors that awaited her in the heart of the darkness. After her first harrowing encounter with the swamp's monstrous inhabitant, Sarah was consumed by an unshakable obsession. She knew she had witnessed something both otherworldly and horrific, and it gnawed at her, driving her deeper into the sinister heart of the swamp. Her determination to uncover the creature's identity and the dark secrets of the swamp grew stronger with each passing day. Armed with a journal and a battered map of the swamp, she embarked on a quest to gather information, to unravel the enigma that had ensnared her. Sarah began to delve into the region's history and folklore, questioning the villagers and piecing together fragmented tales of the creature that dwelled within. She learned of disappearances, of lost hunters, and of the fear that had long pervaded the swamp's shadowy corridors. In the dead of night, she returned to the swamp's edge, her flashlight casting an unsteady beam across the stagnant waters. The croaking of frogs and the rustling of unseen creatures filled the air as she ventured further into the abyss. She felt the lingering presence of the creature that had terrorized her, a sinister specter haunting her every step. As she continued to explore the swamp, she discovered eerie symbols etched into the bark of the cypress trees, and strange altars made from twisted vines and animal bones. These disturbing relics hinted at a malevolent force at work, one intertwined with the creature she had encountered. One moonless night, as Sarah trekked deeper into the swamp, she stumbled upon a crude effigy hanging from a tree, fashioned from sticks and twine. It was a grotesque representation of the creature, its features exaggerated and nightmarish. The sight sent shivers down her spine, and she knew she was onto something deeply unsettling. The air grew heavier as she ventured deeper, and it was as if the swamp itself sought to hinder her progress. Sarah heard the creature's chilling growl in the distance, echoing through the tangled underbrush. The creature was not merely a figment of her imagination. It was a reality she could not escape. The chase intensified as Sarah pursued the elusive creature through the darkness. It led her through treacherous bogs and winding waterways, where every step was a gamble, and danger lurked beneath the surface. Her flashlight's beam revealed fleeting glimpses of the creature, a nightmarish apparition that moved with unnatural speed and grace. Her pursuit brought her to an ancient, long-forgotten part of the swamp, where twisted trees formed a dense canopy, blocking out all light. Here, the air was damp and choked with the putrid stench of decay. The creature's presence was inescapable, and it watched her with malevolent intent. Sarah's heart raced as she discovered an old, decaying journal half buried in the muck. It contained the writings of a deranged hermit who had once inhabited the swamp. The journal spoke of dark rituals and a covenant with an ancient, unspeakable force. It became evident that the creature was not alone, that it was part of a sinister pact that had spanned generations. The entries detailed how the creature was created, born of dark magic and a cursed bloodline. Sarah could hardly comprehend the horrors that had transpired within the swamp's depths, but the journal provided a twisted key to understanding the enigmatic entity. As she continued to chase the creature, it became increasingly apparent that it was leading her deeper into the heart of the swamp, into a trap of its own design. The swamp's malevolence manifested in numerous ways: treacherous terrain, disorienting mists, and relentless whispers that distorted reality. In her pursuit, Sarah found herself cornered, the creature's eyes burning with malevolence. It hissed in her direction, its intentions clear. She realized that she had become a pawn in a malevolent game, a sacrifice to the swamp's insidious forces. Desperation seized her as the creature closed in, but a sudden explosion of light and sound erupted from behind, startling the creature. Sarah seized the opportunity to escape, racing through the labyrinthine maze of the swamp, pursued by the creature's enraged cries. Back at the swamp's edge, Sarah's heart pounded, and her breath came in ragged gasps. She had gathered fragments of the creature's story, but she was not yet ready to face it head-on. She knew that her quest had only just begun, that the swamp held deeper horrors and revelations. As she retreated from the swamp, Sarah's determination remained unbroken. She would not rest until she had unraveled the malevolent history of the swamp, the creature's origins, and the dark covenant that bound them together. The swamp was not just a place of fear, it was a place of secrets, and she was determined to uncover them, no matter the cost. The final confrontation with the swamp's malevolent creature had arrived. Sarah's heart raced as she stood at the nexus of her quest, where the line between her fears and her determination had blurred. She knew that this battle would be the culmination of her journey, a test of her will and courage. The night had fallen over the swamp, casting a suffocating darkness that obscured everything. The air was charged with tension, and Sarah's flashlight trembled in her grip as she ventured deeper into the tangled heart of the swamp. The creature, the embodiment of fear, awaited her. Sarah had discovered more about the creature, the swamp's dark secrets, and the sinister pact that bound them. The creature was not just a product of nightmarish rituals. It was the embodiment of the swamp itself, a malevolent guardian of its unholy secrets. The creature's eyes, burning with hatred, appeared in the distance, and the growl of 1,000 beasts filled the air. It moved with unnatural grace and speed, its webbed hands twitching with anticipation. The battle for survival had begun. The swamp seemed to conspire against Sarah. It sent forth treacherous terrain, sinking mud, and deceptive mists. The trees themselves came to life, their branches reaching out to ensnare her. Her flashlight's beam became a feeble beacon in the overwhelming darkness, and her resolve wavered. The creature struck, its razor-sharp claws slashing through the air. Sarah narrowly evaded its attack, her senses heightened by the adrenaline coursing through her veins. She countered, lashing out with a makeshift weapon, and for the first time she saw a flicker of pain in the creature's eyes. The battle raged on, a deadly dance in the depths of the swamp. The creature's skin was like a fortress, resisting every blow. Sarah's fear had transformed into an unwavering determination to survive and unravel the swamp's horrors. As the battle reached its climax, the creature's defenses began to falter. Sarah's persistence wore it down, each strike chipping away at its malevolent essence. She fought not just for her own survival, but to unearth the truth that lay shrouded in the depths of the swamp. Then, with a final, desperate surge, Sarah delivered the decisive blow. The creature let out an agonized wail that reverberated through the swamp, and its form began to disintegrate. It dissolved into the murky water, its malevolence seeping into the very heart of the swamp. The swamp itself seemed to react to the creature's demise. The mist lifted, and the oppressive air lightened. The trees released their grasp, and the shadows retreated. The battle was won, but the swamp held its secret still. As Sarah stood amidst the aftermath of her confrontation, her breath heavy and her body aching, she realized that she had triumphed. She had faced her deepest fears, conquered the malevolent entity, and uncovered the swamp's dark truths. The journey had brought her revelations that were far more unsettling than she could have ever imagined. The swamp was not just a place of fear, it was a place of ancient horrors, of forgotten rituals and pacts with unspeakable forces. Its secrets were etched into the very fabric of its existence. With a heavy heart, Sarah knew that the story was far from over. The swamp would always hold some of its mysteries close, like forbidden knowledge guarded by the very earth. She had emerged from the depths of the swamp, but the unanswered questions and the lingering unease would remain with her, a constant reminder of the horrors she had faced. As she retraced her steps, leaving the swamp behind, the night seemed less sinister, and the air was no longer thick with dread. Sarah's journey was a testament to the human spirit's resilience, the unyielding pursuit of truth, and the enduring mysteries that lurk in the shadows of the world. The swamp's enigma would forever haunt her, a chilling reminder that some terrors can never be fully unraveled, that some mysteries will forever remain hidden in the depths of darkness.